Hello, welcome to today's immigration tidbit. Are you an entrepreneur? Do you have a significant amount of money to invest in a new business or to buy an old business? And are you a citizen of a country that has a treaty with the U.S. that allows this? This being an E-2 visa. There are about 42 countries around the world that are allowed to do E-2 visas with the U.S. and that they have treaties, which means that the U.S. citizens can go over to their countries and do something similar. So the one big question I get all the time is they'll start off by saying, I just don't have $1 million, I can't do it. Well, that's because this is not that same visa. The over $1 million investment is for the green card, and it's referred to as EB5, or Employment Based Category Fifth Preference. That's the EB5. The E2 is a non-immigrant visa. That means you don't get the green card with it. That means you don't become a citizen with it. It's actually, basically a work permit, but it's a very nice work permit for entrepreneurs. And generally, the amount of investment required, it varies, but I normally like to get at least 75,000 US. Now it depends, okay? I mean, you might have, a lot of money, but the type of business that you're going to open also dictates on the reasonableness of the investment. So, for example, if you're going to open a restaurant that seats 100 people and that has, breakfast, lunch, and dinner served, and so forth, and it's pretty big, a $75,000 investment doesn't seem realistic. It's going to have to be more, which is why, you would need to start off with a smaller restaurant. Um, so the money that you're going to invest, it actually has to be invested. A lot of people say, well, okay, I will transfer $100,000 from my, Pakistani or Canadian or Japanese account, whatever, to the US business account, and that's my investment. And no, that's not the case. That is a transfer of money from one account outside the US to another account inside the US. You're not investing anything. You're not losing anything. You're not paying anything. There's no risk. Okay? In order for it to be an investment, there has to be risk. There has to be some kind of risk that you're going to lose some of it. Um, and it has to be where you can't just snap your fingers to get all the money back. So, if you're going to do the E2 and you're going to invest, whatever, $100,000, it really has to be invested. Now, it's not like you have to invest, for example, the entire $100,000. Let's say that you enter into an agreement to purchase some kind of gas station or whatever for $75,000. So, you have all the paperwork to prove that you invested that money and that you're going to become the owner. Um, and you still have 25,000, let's say, you can put that in the business bank account. And that can be argued it's to keep the business capitalized, it's to pay future employees, it's to do the accounting work, it's to get the cleaning crew, all that stuff. Everything you would need for a real business. So another issue and problem I see a lot is there's a lot of engineering types that want to come to the US on E2 and they say, well, I'll just be a consultant for whoever. I mean, that's fine, but then I say, what are you going to invest the money in? I go, well, my consulting firm. I go, well, where's the money actually going to go? And then, of course, again, we get back to the same answer. It's just going to be transferred in the business account to help them do their consulting. That's not going to work, okay? Because you don't need an investment of $100,000 to do consulting. You can get in your car, go to the company A, consult them, tell them what they need, and then go back. You might need a computer, perhaps you need a car. I mean, it all depends on the business and the way cars are priced these days. That would be a decent investment. So, you know, there's ways of doing it. I mean, if you're going to be a consulting firm, you could, for example, buy or get a mortgage for a place that your business will be located, so you own the actual property that your business will be. That doesn't mean your house. You cannot get an E-2 for a house you're going to live in. Okay, that won't work. But you could get a little office building, things like that, which of course is going to cost more than $100,000. But if you get a mortgage and put the down on it, that whole amount can be considered the investment, as long as there's teeth in it. If you don't pay, they're going to take the building away. That's teeth. Okay. So when you're doing your investment, number one, make sure it's reasonably substantial. Two, that it's really invested and that's for a real business.